Damn! TBTJ Qanba?
What you got, partner?
Oh, I feel like a stick shootout. You know what I'm saying?
Western rap at the very end there.
God, I just spit all over the place.
Do it, man. Let the spit flow. That's what we're here to do. We're here to flow today. We're here to discuss 2 fight sticks. And a third one that we did another video on, we'll kind of get in the fray with, we'll talk about it.
I've got my thoughts lined out.
Dude, notes. Pages and pages of
dissertations.
Notes. Yeah. I have rehearsed this no less than for 3 hours last night.
Yeah, you stood and you're like, fight stick? Fight stick?
I had some flashcards and stuff, you know, and I was using that to like train my memory.
And you're like a Rocky montage. Bam! Bam, bam, bam.
Just punching like, you know, meat hanging in a locker.
I was punching meat last night too.
You punched the meat last night?
Anyway, guys, we're doing the shootout between the Qanba drone and the Hori fight stick mini.
It's time to get mini part 2.
That's right.
Right, so we did this once before.
Which is our highest rated video and our most disliked video.
No, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Link up there if you want to check that out, because that one involves the Mad Catz Alpha.
Yes, so...
It's a weird name, because it's not the Alpha of their sticks, is it?
No, nor is it the Omega. It's like...
Yeah.
The... I don't know. I don't remember what I said.
Oh, yeah. There's something clever there. I'm sure you guys can fill that in the comments.
So when we did the first shootout between this...
the first shootout?
When we did the first one between the Mini and the Alpha, we liked the Alpha, and we liked the Mini.
Right, yeah.
There was not a whole lot of qualms. They were both solid purchases for what they were.
Ultimately geared slightly towards maybe some different markets.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to have a very similar experience today because we are taking the Qanba drone against the Hori fight stick mini.
Now, if you were to do apples to apples and stuff, the Qanba drone is probably very similar to the Mad Catz Alpha. After we did the review and the shootout of that, we sent it back. We got rid of it. We didn't need it, so we don't have it here. But we can still kind of give you a mental comparison of how that stacks up with the 2.
Right. Speaking of which, we also don't necessarily need this one either, which is why we're giving it away.
Yeah, and actually by the time you see this video, it's gone. Somebody's already got it. So if you have further questions on this, we can't tell you. You'll have to message whoever's got the stick.
That's true. We'll leave their information in there. So you can
their personal name, their phone number.
Address for sure.
Yeah,
Social security number.
Yeah.
We're going to take that whenever we do giveaways from now on.
The whole circumference.
Yeah. So let's kick off with this guy. This is hands down the cheapest that you could possibly enter the fight stick world with, right? In terms of pricing.
Yeah. So what this one's
it's like
right now it's between like 30 and 40, sometimes
30 and 40 bucks. Yeah, that's I'd say is a safe bet. I typically see it for like 39. It's on sale for 30. Sometimes people are even clearancing them out.
Yeah.
So
and
you
obviously
can get it cheap.
Ours is a little bit modded than what it comes stocked. The new ball top, it's got a red dust thing. There's some stickers. You gave this to your boy, right?
I did, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's something that I want to talk about when we're comparing these 2 here, is that we did that other review like a year ago or something like that,
right? A while back, yeah.
So this guy has actually seen some action and seen some wear and tear. It's seen some dust, and it still performed perfectly in the hands of a 6-year-old child.
Which is saying something.
Right, because they're not always gentle with things.
No.
And that's even at the point where if he's like, he's like, I want to see, you know, can you do Zangief Super? And I'm like, all right, boom. And it still flies out. So I give that really high marks for the $30, $40. It's still working a year later, which is awesome.
Truth be told, I got bodied by this 6-year-old in question on Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. While he was using this very stick.
This guy, 40 bucks. This guy basically double the price.
Yeah, so basically
$79.99 70 or 80 bucks or so. Yeah. So there's a price difference right off the bat. Right? So you price conscious people, that is like the decision that you're making. Advantage Hori, it's cheaper.
Yes.
If that's what your whole thing is based on, then there you go.
Yeah. As we've said before, these are both sticks for entering the fight stick market. This one, as Tim is saying, I'm just reiterating, as a much more price-friendly option.
Right.
But does that price equate quality?
So here's the thing, in terms of quality, it still holds up and it still lasts. Where I think that it would fall short in this is that it doesn't transition very well to its bigger brothers, say the Rap 4, or if I wanted a VLX from Hori specifically, it's not going to transition well to those because it has smaller buttons.
Yeah, these buttons, I think they probably are 24 millimeters.
Yeah,
maybe even smaller.
Maybe even smaller because they don't have like the full ring on there.
And they're not your standard feeling button. I mean, we've gone over this before. They're different. They're not Sanwas or anything.
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
not
A very proprietary button that they've got going on there that doesn't simulate what you would feel with your standard 30mm button on the big boys, on the TE2s, on the TES, on the Dragon, on the Obsidian, the Rap 4, all of those. So if you are maybe an adult, right, and you've got full-size hands, and you're trying to make the transition into fight sticks, but they're expensive, right? Like, you're like, man, $200 for something I don't know if I'll ever use again, then this would probably be the better option, right? Because it's gonna give you that feel of what you would see at, like, your local tournament. You show up and everybody's got their TE2, you're gonna be like, okay, I feel at home. Somebody's like, oh, here, use my Obsidian. You could sit down and just start playing.
Yeah, and I think that's the important thing here is the center mass is the same distance-wise and feel as a full stick.
Right.
Like, it's 30mm buttons, and it feels the same. If you were to here and then move over to a stick, it's going to be a smooth transition into the bigger sticks.
Right.
Where this is not.
Right. So where this kind of shines, though, is one, the price, as we mentioned, and two, if you're getting into fight sticks but you're younger. Right? So like I said, when I bought this, we checked it out, it was cool, it still works great, but I gave it to my 6-year-old because it doesn't, it's not going to stack up to like my Obsidian or my TE2 or my Rap 4 that I have. So I gave this to him because it's very easy for like little hands to navigate on. That being said, I wouldn't discourage an adult from playing on it either, because I've played with it and it still works fine, it works great. It's not the competitive stick that you're going to see everybody using when you're watching like Wednesday night fights, for example.
Yep, totally. Right. What about mod friendliness? Because we can see obviously you changed the ball top. How is right now this is not modded. It's totally stock. But in our review, we showed you how easy it was to mod this if you wanted to. How do you feel it compares? When obviously the buttons are a whole different story, but like if you wanted to change your ball top or your shaft. Or whatever.
So let's say that you did find a button that fit in here. You would have to like remove it from the board. You would actually have to have electrical knowledge in order to do that. I would just completely advise against it, truthfully. Yeah, like I can't see a reason that you would have this stick and you're putting in that much effort for modifications for it. That being said, of course I modify all my sticks, and I've got, a ton of extra stuff left over. So when I was doing mine, my little guy's like, he's like, I want a red ball top like your stick. And I was like, done, man. So this, I took off the back, unscrewed it the same way any other stick, changed out the ball top so you could give a little bit of flair. He has also elected to add these cool Star Wars stickers.
These are not stock.
Those do not come with it.
Yep, you'll have to buy those separately.
Later
they do add to it, I feel though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Now with this guy, as we saw, like you're able to change the guts in the stick. If you wanted to like replace it with a sandwa, you can replace it with just a sandwa stick through the actual lever. And then the buttons themselves can be changed out with any other 30mm button from like, focus attack. You pick out a 30mm button, you like it, you can throw it in here. And we talked about that in the review, that's like a huge benefit to this guy, is that not only is it cheap to get into, but also you start to not only transition to a bigger stick if you want to, but you can mod this one in the meantime.
And that's the thing, I feel like this is, this is a big boy stick without being a big boy price and a big boy size. It's very adaptable to when you're ready to make the jump. Now, if we were to compare, like we did with the Alpha and this, we were like, they're both really good, but I really feel like now that time has passed and I've played on this for over a year now when I'm over at your place, and I played this. We sent the Alpha back because we're like, that's fine, we don't need it though.
Yeah. At the time it was like $60, and then it went back up to $75. I don't know where its price is.
I'm not sure either now. But we sent that back because there wasn't a need. But this one, even though I've got other sticks, I'm like, it's a good stick. Like, it's nice to have around. We're giving it away because we're generous people. But this one I wouldn't want to like get rid of, or if I would bought it, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to return it. Like, it's a keeper. Like, I would definitely, if you're getting into it, it's double the price, but I feel like it definitely trumps the Hori stick in a lot of different ways.
Now,
not a slight against Hori by any means.
Right, no, and that's actually an excellent point too, is that when you're getting into fighting games, and you and your buddy are probably starting with just the old school couch co-op, right, where you guys are sitting down and kind of grinding, both of these make such a cool backup stick that you could have at your house, because they're space savers. Your buddy can play on it, and you can still win on both, right? I mean, again, I always use this comparison, don't tell me a Dojo can't whip my ass with this stick, no matter how fancy of a, Dragon or whatever that I'm using. So these are really cool to have just, off to the side. I wouldn't say they're part of like the collection, but they're very usable when you do make that jump. So I buy this one, it's my first stick, and I'm like, okay, I'm loving this.
Like McDonald's.
Yeah, no. So you're like, no, I am gonna get a big boy stick, right? So you go and you get like an Obsidian, for example. This guy is still usable,
yeah,
right? You can just set it aside and it's still there. So in terms of like, here's bad things I'm gonna say about both of them. I really don't have anything because they're specifically designed for a market, and you just have to know what you are looking for when you get it, which is why we make these videos.
Yeah, and now compared to if we're comparing this to the Alpha. I would pick this over the Alpha.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, there's just something about it. It just feels really nice. I don't know. I think that Mad Catz they're obviously like the guys for fight sticks when it comes down to it. But Qanba is really coming up to make a name for themselves. And I feel like their products speak for themselves. Themselves.
Right. And, you know, something that we talked about with the Alpha is that it has 30mm buttons, right? So you have the ability that you could change those out. However, they were like hardwired in. So you have to cut the cord and you have to buy the connectors that go on to a replacement button. This one you do not. This is going to change out a button the same way you would on the big boy stick. Just remove the back and go from there. In fact, we show that in the video review of this. Yeah. Right? So the Alpha you have to have more knowledge on. So that right there is something that this one would be a problem. The Alpha would be a problem. This one you could open up and start modifying. Yeah,
just like your big boys.
Exactly. Yeah. So, in terms of Shootout, I feel like this is about as apples to apples as we can get for the minis, but they're still very different products.
Yeah, they're very different.
So I can't lean in any direction and be like, this one's perfect for me, because neither of these are for me or you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you've got a hitbox. You've got 2 TE2s.
Yep.
There's a crystal on the floor right over there that we're not using currently. We've got a Wrap 4, an Obsidian, a TE2, FC4. I mean, there's all kinds of options for us. But if we're getting into this and I have a $100 bill, for me, I would go with this one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're not here to tell you, oh, this one's better than this one. This is just to show you the differences between the two, so you can make an informed purchase. If I was to make an informed purchase based on them, I would go with the Qanba and spend the extra $40 for the modding capabilities, and so it's an easier transition to when I buy a bigger stick.
Now, if I didn't have, say, more than $50, right? I got that tight FGC budget. I'm gonna buy this guy, right? Because I still think it's a good way to get into fight sticks. Also, if you have a young one who wants to sit next to you, who's got those small hands, this works, and it works.
Or if you're playing with Donald Trump.
Exactly. Yeah. Great point. Yeah, he's got that little baby hand.
He's like,
let me use my big. So, you might have questions. And as we mentioned, we're not going to answer any more questions on this one. It's not ours anymore. Can't do it.
I mean, I'll just be like, yeah, you know, it's a stick.
Yeah. No, but I think we've done just about everything we can for this guy. We've done kind of like a mini mod thing with it by opening it up. We've done the review, so you can check both of those out. But of course, if you do have more questions, we're kidding. Comments below.
There they are. There's the comments.
Below. I guess that's the only place they can reach us?
No!
What?
Untrue!
A lie has been told. We have fake news, my friends.
Twitters!
Yep. Not alternative facts. Those are truths right there. Yep.
Let's shrink. Subscribe. Because this is where you get your fight stick news. As well as just a bevy of other cool stuff.
Cool guys.
Cool guys. Yep. Cool things, videos, short films, discussions, music. Whatever you want! This is the place for it!
Your source for geek.
Fucking Timmy.